Everybody knows somebody with style, but most of the time, you can struggle to identify exactly what style is. You just know some people have it. So, are some people born with it? Or is it a skill you can study and obtain? I would say the answer to both of those questions is no. Style is such a personal connection between the clothes and the wearer that it makes it almost invisible to others. But how do you achieve this connection between yourself and your clothes? Well, first, I say, look at culture.
Brand Club!
I think that culture is perhaps one of the greatest inventions humans have ever created. We have created thousands upon millions of different symbols. We have attached loads of different meanings to them. And almost universally, a certain shape, a certain symbol can so easily be recognized. But going even deeper, clothes particularly over time has been used to portray ethnicity, religion, political views, protests, rebellion. I think that no matter what, the clothes you wear always have a meaning attached to them, and that's the role that culture plays. So I think to have that authentic style, the one that you can really feel absorbed by, you need to have a deep connection between the clothes and the culture in which they came from. I think it's important to understand the link. I think that stylish people, before they go and start shopping for clothes, they first ask themselves what is important, what values are important to themselves and what cultures do they identify with. And I think that what stylish people do is they take that influence and they take the answers from those personal questions and they choose and select from which symbols, which clothes pieces they want to put onto their body and essentially attach to themselves. I think that the most stylish people know exactly where their clothes come from and the story behind them and why that story is related to them. And I think to obtain this takes a really long time, Just like it takes a long time to build up your personality, I think to make the connections to develop that authentic, real, unique style takes a lot of time. And this is tough when there's constantly this conveyor belt of new trends that you feel like you have to catch up with. But that's a clear distinction that I think that I've noticed, that there's a real difference between fashionable and stylish people.
Brand Club!
If you're fashionable, you could still look really great, you got some cool clothes on, they fit you well, and the vibe is good. But the difference is that there's no personal connection between that person and the clothes. It's simply just because it is a trend. And I think these urges to stay trendy, to stay fashionable, are more of a hindrance to getting real style because you kind of get veered off track. Because to obtain true style, again, it's a personal question. It's a personal connection to you and the clothes that you wear and the symbols that you want to portray. But that doesn't mean that you have to completely ignore trends and act like you don't care about what's popping off in the fashion world. Because some trends are valuable trends, They come because they look good, or because they even serve a particular function, or because they accompany some, political movement or some movement towards freedom or expression. And so that doesn't mean trends aren't bad. But I would recommend to pick and choose small things from trends, small inspirations and influences that you wish to attach to yourself for the long run, as opposed to the short run. If you're constantly having this conveyor belt of new clothes that you wear for maybe a couple weeks and then you completely dispose them to make space for other clothes, I don't really see that as sustainable, and I don't see that as fostering a unique and, long-lasting style. I don't see the deeper essence in that, if you know what I'm saying. To obtain true style, make note of the trends, but go back into culture, go back into history for the real heart and soul. And I think through the more experience and influence you have from trends, but mainly from culture, from history, from new knowledge, even stuff that you learn in university or in your work or just talking with random people, I think that's what starts to slowly develop your style. And I think that's why with certain people, you can describe their style as maturing. As in, for a long time, they could be wearing outfits that are really, exciting, they're interesting, they look good. But you can see over their lifetime, they start trending towards a certain style, a certain essence, a certain story. And another reason I would say to avoid trying to be fashionable and trendy and try to stick it out for the long run is that often you can be prompted into buy clothes that don't last.
Brand Club.
You can see a clear difference between aesthetic as opposed to quality. I think when stylish people buy clothes, they're kind of consciously keeping it in their mind that they want these clothes to last a long time. They want it to be in their wardrobe so that they can wear it again and again and again. And there's not this kind of easily disposable clothes mindset that fast fashion can tend to promote. And with certain stylish people, they wear almost the same clothes every single day because they've had enough experience and they've looked through enough clothes that they know what works for them and they know what they really like. And so they've invested in clothes that are really built to last, that they can use practically every single day. And also another thing that ties into quality is functionality. I think almost all clothes in your wardrobe should be functional. And that doesn't mean that you have to wear super tactile clothes, but what I think it means is that your clothes shouldn't get in the way of what you want to achieve in your day-to-day. If you are a super active person, then I think your clothes should reflect and help you with that active lifestyle. If you're a more professional person, I think your clothes should serve the image that you're trying to portray to the people in your workplace. Sometimes when trying to adopt a trend, it can kind of clash with your lifestyle. I can give you an example from my own, because I'm from a warm island around the equator. And when I was younger, I loved hoodies and jackets and things. But I just couldn't wear them because it was just way too hot. And sometimes I would just force myself, if I was going to like a nice event or something, I wanted to look really good, I would chuck on a layer and another one. And by the end of the night, I would just be so boiling and just so uncomfortable and just so not happy with the clothes. So there were some compromises I had to make. I couldn't just wear exactly everything that I wanted to because it just didn't fit in with my lifestyle. But slowly over time, I learned how to make the compromises and make the smart choices to have clothes that I really like and I really feel good in, that also complement my lifestyle and even the weather very well. And the final thing that I would like to talk about is the energy of a stylish person.
Brand Club.
And I'm sure you experience even just spending 5 seconds walking past somebody where you can really think, wow, this person is so stylish. I get a really good energy from them. And I think that this energy comes from high confidence and true self-acceptance and true comfortableness in their clothes. I'm not sure if that's a word, but it sounds like a word. I think stylish people have really done their homework and they've made that connection with their clothes. And they really feel value in the clothes that they wear, and that's why they feel so good and so confident. But what I don't think this means is that if you lack self-confidence, you can just buy a sick outfit and that suddenly you'll be super confident. No, because I think style has very little to do with the actual clothes you wear. I think it has way more to do with your mindset when it comes to picking and wearing clothes. That greater appreciation for culture, for people, for symbols, for sharing experiences, for talking about clothes and where they came from. I think that's what really gives somebody style. And so, therefore, when you start getting to talk to someone, when you start getting to know somebody a bit better, you can really start to tell the difference between stylish and fashionable, even if they're wearing the same exact clothes, because the stylish person wears it perhaps because they identify with the symbols of the culture, maybe they have some memories, associated with those clothes, or because of any other reason that holds sentimental value to them. But the fashionable person wears it only because they've seen other people wear it, and they too want to possess, the status and the appraisal that often comes with wearing expensive and highly trendy clothes. And so if people can kind of sniff out whether or not your clothes are authentically stylish and if they're unique to you in the way that they provide sentimental value, it's kind of useless to try go down the fashionable trend. I think it's way funner and it's way more fulfilling to take the time and effort to make sure that your wardrobe truly reflects your personality and your values. But I also don't want to put an over glorification on clothes and consumerism and buying new things, because if you just completely don't care about what you wear, I think that's even better. To not even care what clothes are on your body and still be truly confident, I think that's like the end goal. But unfortunately, me and a lot of other people only feel truly confident and truly as themselves if their clothes, fit them well, and they can kind of feel themselves in their clothes. And some people just have that natural curiosity and that willingness to use their clothes and almost their body as a portrait, as an art piece, to portray some kind of idea. And I do resonate a lot with that. But what I'm trying to say is that if your wardrobe has not been a reflection of your culture or your ideals or your values, that's not a big deal, What I'm more trying to say is if your wardrobe is just a direct representation of what's trending at the time, and you kind of have this cycle of buying new clothes and throwing them out really fast, I think then maybe you should try shift your mindset towards going through the more stylish route. But again, to each their own. And finally, another piece of the energy that I often associate with stylish people that I come across is gratefulness for their clothes. I think stylish people truly appreciate and value the clothes they have. And they also value the work and the resources, and the effort that got put into that work, into that clothing piece. Because when somebody really cares a lot about a piece of their clothing, they're so excited about it and they want to, make it last long, repair and renew it, then it gets me excited about that clothes piece. And I think that, wow, that's really cool that you have a piece of clothing that you identify closely with and that you want to keep around for a long time. But that's not often present with fashionable people that focus more on the trend and can dispose it. It keeps on going back to the same topic of stylish versus fashionable. Overall, that was my little commentary on what I think are the main qualities of stylish people and how maybe you can adopt better style. I personally think that my journey is not yet over. I still got a lot more to learn. I still got to learn more about my own culture, my own heritage, and I'm excited to see how I can combine those symbols and those stories and meanings into my own wardrobe. But overall, if you made it this far into the video, I just want to say a big thank you from the CEO of Rank Club. If you liked the video, it would be great if you could chuck a like. If you really liked the video, it would be even better if you subscribed, because I'm going to be producing more videos, especially more on the topic of fashion, but also on philosophy and psychology, as well as sociology. But overall, thank you so much for watching all the way through. I hope you have a great day. Peace out from the CEO. Ciao.